Welcome back to the series Audio Tips and Tricks. In this episode, let's take a look at signal flow and parts of an audio console. Signal flow is the path a signal takes from the source to an output. For inputs, we have connectors going into an audio device, such as an XLR, a balanced cable, quarter-inch TRS, balanced descending mono signal, unbalanced descending a stereo signal, the quarter-inch TS, unbalanced, as well as RCA, which is unbalanced as well. More details on these can be found in the previous episode. Outputs are connectors in an audio device from which the signal comes and feeds successive devices. Gain, trim, or amount of amplification, is the ratio expressed in dB between the output voltage and the input voltage. This setting adjusts the preamp's amount of amplification. The preamp is a standalone device or a circuit in a mixer, which is the first stage of amplification that boosts a mic level signal to line level, preparing the signal for further processing. The preamp is where you should always set your signal level. It provides the most gain while keeping noise at a minimum. A fader is a linear electrical control that allows for finer adjustments than a knob. Since faders are logarithmic, a small fader adjustment around unity gain can finally adjust the signal level. The same physical adjustment of a fader towards the lower section will change the signal level by a much greater amount. Phase is the degree of compression in one cycle of a wave, where it starts and ends, or wave angle. What happens if two identical waveforms with the same phase are summed together? The amplitude, volume, is doubled for the sound. They stack on top of each other. What if the phase of one of the waveforms is inverted 180 degrees before they're summed? The frequency's amplitude, volume, is cancelled and there is no sound produced. An example of this we covered in our previous episode where we were examining the difference between an unbalanced audio system and a balanced audio system. When you recombine two signals that are out of phase, they cancel each other out. An insert takes the entire signal out of the channel, applies outboard processing to the signal, and returns the processed signal back to the channel. Busing splits the signal to multiple places without degrading it by going through another preamp, such as an aux pre to stage monitors. You can bus various signals together and choose whether you're sending them pre-fade or post-fade. With EQ, you can boost or attenuate certain frequencies. The mute switch will mute the channel by opening or breaking the channel circuit. The channel's fader is the master volume control for the channel, allowing finer adjustments than a knob. The pan-pot, Panorama Potentiometer knob will adjust the placement of audio in a stereo field, allowing you to move that channel's placement in your stereo image left or right. The solo switch will mute all channels except the one that is soloed, sending the channel's feed to the control room speakers or headphones. One thing to note is that depending on which console you use, it will have different routing options for your soloing, so you'll want to double check with your audio console for the routing of the solo. Subgroups or control group assignments allow you to group different channels together and be able to control a group of channels with a single fader. Your meters show you how hot your feed is, the level of your signal in dB, and lets you know how close you are to clipping. Clipping is a form of waveform distortion. This can happen when an amplifier is overdriven and goes beyond its limits. You want to make sure you have a healthy signal, but without clipping. We'll cover setting levels more in a future video. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notified of the next video. See you then!